After a couple days off, hope everybody was enjoying all of the soccer, all of the Wimbledon. You and I color coordinated here today.
Great minds think alike.
Vinny Goodwill, Jason McCourty, Courtney Cronin, Brooke Pry. We've got Brian Windhorst here as well. So much soccer to get into on the way, but we start with our lead story. And stop me, guys, if you have heard this before. We are waiting on yet another LeBron James decision. The basketball world waits with bated breath to learn where he will play in year 24, and Philly remains a pretty intriguing destination. Sixers president Bob Myers was asked about what his pitch to LeBron would be. Here is what he said.
If he was here, I'd say I honestly believe this is your best chance to win. You have to decide all the other things that are equally important. What I would just say is, if it's about winning, and that, let's talk about this team, because you can win here in Philadelphia.
Okay, so that is about as direct of a pitch, guys, as you are going to get. Bob Myers, who runs the Philadelphia 76ers organization, Vinny, giving that pitch to Max Kellerman, Rich Paul, LeBron's agent. So what do you hear, Wendy, when you hear Bob Myers, his words, the recruiting style? What is that telling you about Philly's process in trying to get LeBron?
Well, it's more about the entire LeBron process than anything, because this is how the 76ers are getting to talk to LeBron. That was on Rich Paul and Max Kellerman's podcast, but it was essentially a meeting with LeBron James. That's how you talk to LeBron in 2026. In 2010, he had 3 days of meetings where everybody came to an office building in Cleveland in $10,000 suits, and Jay-Z came to pitch him. In 2014, Dan Gilbert his jet was being tracked as he tried for a clandestine meeting in South Florida. In 2018, Magic Johnson stood on his driveway until free agency opened and then walked into his house in Los Angeles to make the pitch. Now you come on a podcast, and this is where we go as LeBron plays golf and works on his short game. So this is a demonstration of how the game has changed and how long the LeBron career and free agency processes have been.
I'm looking at this situation with the 76ers and LeBron James, and I have to say, it's fascinating. The 76ers president, Bob Myers, came out and said that if LeBron were to join the team, it would be his best chance to win an NBA title. Now, I know what you're thinking, Wendy, why would LeBron consider the 76ers? Well, let me tell you, it's not just about the team itself, it's about the entire process. As I've been saying for years, the NBA has changed dramatically, and the way teams recruit players has changed too. Gone are the days of secret meetings and lavish presentations. Now, it's all about social media, podcasts, and public declarations. And that's exactly what we're seeing here with the 76ers and LeBron. I mean, think about it, Bob Myers went on a podcast with Rich Paul and Max Kellerman to make his pitch to LeBron. That's right, a podcast. Can you imagine if this were 10 years ago? The idea of a team president going on a podcast to recruit a player would have been laughable. But now, it's the norm. And what's even more interesting is that LeBron is still at the epicenter of free agency, dictating his own terms. He's been in this situation before, of course, but this time it's different. This time, he's not looking for a max contract, he's looking for a chance to win. And the 76ers are trying to convince him that they're the best team to do it with. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Wendy, the 76ers aren't even a top-tier team. And you're right. They're not. But they do have some talented players, and with LeBron on board, they could potentially become a contender. And that's what Bob Myers is banking on. He's saying, hey, LeBron, come to Philly, and we'll give you the best chance to win. And I think that's a pretty compelling argument. I mean, who wouldn't want to play for a team that's willing to do whatever it takes to win? But, of course, it's not that simple. There are so many factors at play here, and we can't just assume that LeBron is going to choose the 76ers because they're offering him a chance to win. I mean, what about his personal life? What about his business ventures? What about his legacy? These are all things that LeBron has to consider when making his decision. And let's not forget, LeBron is a veteran minimum player now. He's not looking for a max contract, he's looking for a chance to win. And the 76ers are trying to convince him that they're the best team to do it with. But, as I said, it's not that simple. I think what's most interesting about this situation is that we're seeing a new era of NBA free agency. Players are no longer just looking for the biggest contract, they're looking for a chance to win, to build a legacy, to be part of something special. And teams are having to adapt to that. They're having to be more creative, more aggressive, and more willing to take risks. And that's exactly what the 76ers are doing here. They're taking a risk by going public with their pitch, by trying to convince LeBron that they're the best team for him. And I think it's a risk worth taking. Because, let's be real, if the 76ers can somehow manage to convince LeBron to join their team, it would be a game changer. It would be a coup for the franchise, and it would instantly make them a contender. And who knows, maybe they could even win a championship. But, of course, that's a big maybe. And there are so many factors at play here that it's impossible to predict what's going to happen. All we can do is sit back, watch, and wait. And that's what makes this situation so fascinating. We're seeing a new era of NBA free agency unfold before our eyes, and it's anyone's guess what's going to happen next. Will LeBron choose the 76ers? Will he choose another team? Or will he decide to stay with the Lakers? We just don't know. All we can do is speculate, and that's what makes this so much fun. I mean, think about it, we're talking about one of the greatest players of all time, a player who has dominated the league for nearly 2 decades. And now, he's at a crossroads, trying to decide what's next. It's a fascinating situation, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out. Will the 76ers be able to convince LeBron to join their team? I don't know, but I do know that it's going to be a wild ride. And I'm thrilled to be along for the ride, analyzing every move, every statement, and every rumor. Because, at the end of the day, this is what it's all about, the pursuit of greatness. The pursuit of a championship. And LeBron James is the embodiment of that pursuit. He's a player who has dedicated his life to being the best, to winning, and to leaving a lasting legacy. And now, he's at a crossroads, trying to decide what's next. Will he choose the 76ers? Will he choose another team? Or will he decide to stay with the Lakers? We just don't know. But one thing is for sure, it's going to be a fascinating ride, and I'm honored to be a part of it. So, let's sit back, watch, and wait. Let's see how this all plays out. Because, at the end of the day, this is what it's all about, the love of the game, the pursuit of greatness, and the thrill of the unknown. And I'm excited to see what's next for LeBron James and the 76ers. Will they be able to make it happen? Only time will tell.